So we got the garage slightly cleaned up today. Started off by, we're gonna try to get this pan fitted up. Got the car out. Got the panels back off, just for right now. Getting some more of this metal ground down and then have to blow it back off. Gotta get this cleaned up a little bit better. And then getting that down there straightened. And then we will try to fit the pan in. If it's all fitting good, I will then take my measurements, go from underneath and mark along the rails from underneath with the paint marker. Get my measurements from underneath that off of my stand. I'll put it up there. Get the measurements from the rails, how wide these are, and then about how far up I need to go from each spot weld, do my holes. But before we can do that, I still have to go in and technically from the 70 to 73 from right here where the shackles are have to be modified. So I have an idea how I'm going to do it. I'm going to use some of this. I have some sheet metal, like new sheet metal, that I want to do. The curvature is just slightly different. It kind of goes down and like that. So that might be the longest bit for the day, and then try to get the pan at least fitting in. I don't know if I'll be able to get it welded in today, but my goal is to at least get it fitting in today for this weekend. So we'll see what we can do. I'll get back to you when we're at the next steps. We're back with a quick little update. We got the rear quarters mocked up with the trunk pan mocked in. Had to do some trimming up there and in there. It's a little harder to see because of the light. Sorry about that. I need to go back in and re-weld it. Because this is a 78 to 81 style trunk, it's going to be a little bit different. So my thought process is leave the original weld and pinch to it and just butt it up, because everywhere else on the top of this, where all the spot welds were originally, we're going to get welded. All this is going to get pinch welded back in. All the frame is going to get welded back up. So just that one area up in here is going to be the only thing that the original does not get removed. So I'll weld this back in and just leave the where it flaps over and butt welds or pinch welds. Other than that, everything, sorry about the light, guys, everything else fits. It's a little bit taller. I don't know if that's just how it is. Everything else is like right into place. So I don't know how well this is going to be. I do have to go under here still and completely modify this. This is kind of just like a rough fitment. I want to see how well it's going to fit with the tail pan and the quarters on all my measurements I've done so far. So far it's looking good. I'm gonna get this tail pan fitted up and see what it looks like, and then I'll come back. Alrighty guys, you ready to see it? We got the tail pan, the bumper, the trunk pan, all measurements, and rear quarters without the outer skins, or not the outer skins, the outer wheel well housings and the drop downs fit up. But here she is, all measurements from here down to this are both spot on. Back from here, here to here are spot on. Midpoint are spot on. So on and so on. The truck is sitting pretty flush, other than obviously in the spot where it's supposed to go. So technically it is up a little bit high, which it would be why this part of the trunk is having a hard time fitting. And then I have a little gap right here compared to over here. So the only modification that really needs to be done is to the frame rail, and I am not going to be doing that part today. I am it's still semi-sunny, but I wanted to get this done so I can start marking it for next weekend. My quarter panels are sitting down pretty low, so once I get it, I can actually get them into place. I still have to finish getting my sail panel in on this side, sail panel in on this side. I have to make that one. That one needs quite a bit of work. It was a test piece from an actual sail panel from another Camaro. Finished doing this wheel well housing, put it in permanently. There will be a separate video on that, and then me finishing that one over there. They're both right here. Let's see. And then obviously I have to fit the drop down panels to them, but before I fit them to it, I have to fit them to the quarter panels so they're a good fitment. From there, then I can actually spot weld those in with my spot welder, and then I can actually spot weld them in place. We'll get this trunk will be welded in and stuff as soon as I get the think of the words, frame rail modified. But like I said, I have to get the car back in the garage into a good position, remove the rear end because the shackles need to come out, so I can do that safely without messing up that. Not that the leaf springs and the shackles and all that hardware is going to stay. I'm getting new ones. Everything's pretty much going to be brand new. I have kept nothing on this car. The whole suspension is going to be completely different. Going vintage air. The nice thing is that the motor I got coming in April already has the AC, so I believe the only thing I'll have to do is get the rest of the kit from vintage air. Other than that, after April, I'll be ordering that back pan, my inner wheel tubs, the 2-inch cowl hood, and the rest of my metal, and then I should be ordering the RSSS front end from Classic Industries. From there, in August, I believe I'm ordering my transmission, which is a 200R4 from Monster. So it should be built to hold about 500-600 horsepower. The rear end is actually going to be the original rear end. It's what came with the car. It's a I can't remember the gear ratio, but it was an inline 6 that came with this thing. So I am actually having it rebuilt to a 373. The car is actually going to be a daily driver. That's what I'm going to use it for, daily driving around where I'm at, to work, and then to car shows. So let me know what y'all think of how it's looking so far, and if you guys like the journey so far and have any questions or want to see more in-depth stuff, maybe I'll invest in a GoPro and leave it set up and you guys can see me work. For now, I guess that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, and see you in the next video. For the ones that say that you can't do this kind of swap, or think that you can't, or don't know if you can, take your time, do it the right way. This is a true 78 Camaro. It can be done. The best suggestion would be take your time, buy AMD or whatever you prefer. I did all AMD, and do the outer wheel well housings, do the drop panels because they are a little bit longer, do the full trunk pan, do the full quarters, get the metal done up in here, clean it up, and it can be done. This rear end was a 78. I'll leave a picture or two of what it looked like when I got it, to obviously what it looks like right now. But yes, it can be done. I got the car in October of 2023. It is now February of 2024. I move pretty quick, but you don't have to. Just take your time. I know I've seen a lot of people just kind of chop it up and say you can do it one way, but obviously I started this because it is very hard to find, in my area at least, a 1970 to 73 in good condition where I wouldn't have to do all this work anyway, and that has a clean title or a title at all, and it would be affordable. So I actually found this one 30 minutes on the road. Again, it's a 1978. Paid $3,600 for it, clean title. It did have a small block Chevy from a 1978 Chevy pickup. It was a 4-bolt main. It ended up being trash, so just went a different route. Same thing with the transmission. I sold that not long ago. The car has been my dream car since I was 14 years old. So if this is something that you've wanted to do, you've got the time, you've got the little bit of cash, or you can make it happen, look, it can be done. I will say it over and over again. Just take your time. I will post more videos. You can ask me questions. I will go in as depth on videos as anyone needs. I'm going to try to go in depth on these frame rails modifications as possible. I know there's a form on one of the sites. They don't really show you how to do it. I've kind of figured out what they've done, and I'm going to kind of modify it to how I'm going to do it and see if it works, and we're going to go from there. Yeah, but it can be done. So if you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments and I'll answer them.